All right, everyone. So we are going to review. This is Miss McLaughlin. So a few things, we're going to start off with this slide. So we can see that it is our globe of our world. And there are different numbers, 1 through 7, because there are 7 different continents. So we are going to go through. Let's see. So what is number 1? What continent is number 1? What continent is number 2? What continent is number 3? What continent is number 4? What continent is number 5? What continent is number 6? What continent is number 7? All right, so to review, number 1 is Antarctica. It's really cold all the way down at the southern part of our globe. Number 2, this is Africa. Number 3 is Asia, very large continent. Number 4 is us, the United States of America. We live in here. So the name of the continent, though, is North America. Number 5, this is a smaller continent attached to Asia, but this is Europe. Number 6 is South America. Remember, this is attached to North America. So North America is at the top, South America is at the bottom. And number 7, this cute little continent over here is number 7, which is Antarctica. Those are our 7 continents. Moving on now, we have 1 through 5 because there are 5 different oceans. Now, number 1 down here by cold Antarctica. What is number 1? What ocean is number 1? What ocean is number 2? Up here at the top of our globe. What ocean is number 3? What ocean is number 4? What ocean is number 5? Okay, so to review, number 1 at the bottom of our globe, if you're thinking of a compass rose, north is up here, south is down here, and this is called the Southern Ocean. So a good way for you to remember the Southern Ocean is that it has the word south in southern. So the Southern Ocean is at the bottom of our globe. Number 2 is the Arctic Ocean. It's cold up by the North Pole, the Arctic Ocean. Number 3 is the Indian Ocean, right below India, Indian Ocean. Number 4 is our ocean. That's what Miss McLaughlin always refers to. Our ocean. We're over here in New York. If we're going to go swimming anywhere along the East Coast from New Jersey, the Carolinas, all the way down to Florida, we will be swimming in the Atlantic Ocean. Now, number 5 goes all the way on this side of the globe. Remember, our globe is round. And number 5 is on this side of the world as well. Number 5 is the largest ocean, and that is the Pacific Ocean. So those are our 5 oceans. Next, we have a what? Yes, a compass rose. This is our compass rose. Now, the 4 main cardinal directions. What are those? North, south, west, and east. We know north is at the top, south is at the bottom, and then how we remember west and east is that it spells the word we. W-E spells we. Other people might remember it as never eat soggy waffles. Okay, so now we have the 4 main cardinal directions, but then there are 4 Okay, so we have the 4 main cardinal directions are north, south, west, and east. Now there are 4 intermediate directions. So what are the 4 intermediate directions? Okay, so those are in between north and west is northwest. We always start with north because it is to the north of west. Now, what's to the north of east? North, east. Now, what's to the south of east? Southeast. And what's to the south of west? Southwest. Good. So now we completed our compass rose. Moving on. All right, so now we are on elements of a map. So there are different parts of a map. Number 1, right up here. This would be our title. That's the title of our map. It is the biggest font. However, it doesn't always have to be at the top of our page or of our map. The title could be down here. Number 2, we just reviewed this. This is our compass rose. Number 3, this helps you determine distance. This is our scale. Number 4, we looked at this when we had to create our own map and different symbols on our map. So if we look at this map and we see maybe different lines, we see different stars, and we're wondering what all of those symbols mean. Well, we have our map key, or also known as our map legend, that helps us identify what each symbol means. And number 5, this is our insert map. So it's a smaller portion of our map or a larger portion that we're just taking one section out of. So those are the different parts of a map. Okay, next slide. So we have our globe and we have 2 lines drawn, yellow and blue. So what line, the imaginary line, is the yellow? What is that line called? Good, that's our equator. What is the blue imaginary line called? Good, that's our prime meridian. Moving on from that, we have the same picture. Now I want to know which 2 hemispheres does the equator, this yellow line, break our world into? What 2 hemispheres? Okay, so that's the northern hemisphere all up here, and the southern hemisphere. All down here is the southern hemisphere. So just like a compass rose, our equator, the yellow line, breaks our globe up into the northern and southern hemispheres. We don't just say the word north or south, but we use the whole term northern, southern. Now, our blue line, our prime meridian. Which 2 hemispheres does our prime meridian break the globe up into? So this is our prime meridian. Now remember our compass rose, we already did the northern and southern hemispheres. Okay, so the prime meridian breaks our globe up into the western and the eastern hemispheres. Good. Next and last slide for our review. We have the equator and the prime meridian. So let's relabel these 2. The equator is the imaginary line that cuts our globe up into the northern and southern hemispheres. And our prime meridian is our imaginary line that cuts the globe up into the western and eastern hemispheres? Okay, so we just spoke about the 4 hemispheres of our globe. I'm going to call out a number, and you need to identify which 2 hemispheres does it fall into. So, number 1. Which 2 hemispheres is number 1 in? Okay, so it is in the northern and eastern hemisphere. Number 2. Which 2 hemispheres is number 2 in? Good, the southern, western. The southern and western hemispheres. What about number 3? The northern and western hemispheres. And what about number 4? The southern and eastern hemispheres. So remember, if you're thinking of a compass rose, we have north up here, south, west, and east. So if we look at number 4 for another moment, this is in the southern hemisphere, because anything below the yellow line is the southern hemisphere, and it's also in the eastern hemisphere, because anything to the right of this blue line is the eastern hemisphere. That is all for this week's review. You have a lot more learning to do. Hope you have a terrific week.